Right, Emma. So today we're absolutely going off-piste, yeah? We're not talking about your usual Facebook ads or SEO, not directly anyway. We're diving into something I think is, well, massively overlooked for affiliate growth, micro-communities.
Ooh, micro communities. Okay, that sounds intriguing. So, we're not just talking about big Facebook groups then. What are we talking about specifically, James? Because my brain immediately goes to oh, another forum. But I feel like you mean something deeper.
Precisely. It's beyond just another forum. It's about highly engaged, incredibly specific interest groups. Think of them as digital villages, not bustling cities. These are places where people share a very, very particular passion or problem. And the thing is, they're often starved for relevant, trusted information and recommendations. That's where the magic happens for affiliates, you know?
I'm with you. So the idea is less competition, more targeted trust. Like if you find people who are really into, say, artisanal cheesemaking, and you can offer a truly relevant affiliate product there, rather than shouting into the void on Instagram.
Exactly that, Emma. The trust factor is it's monumental. People in these groups implicitly trust other members, or at least those who've established themselves as genuine contributors. It's a completely different dynamic than, say, a cold ad. You're not just pushing a product, you're becoming a valuable resource within their trusted circle.
Okay, so this sounds pretty powerful. But how do you even find these micro communities? I mean, are we talking Reddit, Discord? Where do you start looking for these digital villages, as you called them?
Good question. Excellent question, actually. Yeah, Reddit's a gold mine. Absolutely. Think subreddits dedicated to incredibly niche topics. Discord servers are fantastic too, especially for gaming, tech, specific hobbies. But don't stop there. Look at specialized forums. They still exist and thrive, especially for things like vintage camera collectors or specific car enthusiasts. Facebook groups too. But again, look for the ones with deep engagement, not just huge member counts. And even, honestly, niche blogs with active comment sections or YouTube channels with super engaged followers.
Oh, that's a good point about YouTube comments. You can often see the really passionate people there. So it's not just about finding a platform, it's about finding the depth of discussion within it, right?
Spot on. It's about the quality of interaction, the shared language. Do they have their own jargon, their own inside jokes? That's a telltale sign you found a true micro-community. Then you spend time just observing, learning their pain points, their desires. It's like anthropological research for affiliates, really.
Now, this next bit is, well, it's critical. This is where most people, they trip up massively. You find these communities, you get excited, and then you start dropping links, yeah? And that's the absolute worst thing you could do.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen some terrible attempts. Someone just joins a group and immediately posts, "Check out my amazing new product." It's so obviously self-serving and it just gets shut down immediately, right?
Right, immediately. You'll be booted out, quite rightly so. The key here, Emma, is genuine contribution. It's not about selling, not initially anyway. It's about being a helpful member, answering questions, offering insights, sharing genuinely useful non-affiliate resources, build a reputation, become a known, trusted voice within that community. You're giving value, freely, for a good long while before you even think about mentioning an affiliate link.
So, actually being a human first, not a robot with a sales pitch. You're suggesting you contribute meaningfully, build that social capital, and then perhaps subtly integrate solutions when it's genuinely appropriate and asked for, right?
Precisely. When someone asks, hey, what's a good durable tripod for macro photography, and you've been the go-to person for lens advice for 6 months, then your recommendation carries weight. And if that recommendation happens to be an affiliate product, well, people appreciate the honest guidance. It's a long game, but it builds incredibly strong foundations.
That makes a lot of sense. Building that trust is huge. But what about leveraging people who already have that trust within these communities? The ones everyone looks up to? Are we talking about micro-influencers here?
You're absolutely reading my mind, Emma. Yes, precisely. Micro-influencers are your secret weapon in these micro-communities.
These aren't the mega influencers with millions of followers. Those are expensive and often their audience is too broad. We're talking about individuals with, say, a few thousand or even just hundreds of highly engaged, highly specific followers within that niche. They are the trusted voices, the community leaders. They're often passionate hobbyists who've become experts in their field.
Yeah, the ones who genuinely know their stuff and people listen to, right? Not just, anyone with a camera trying to get free stuff. I've always found their recommendations way more authentic anyway.
Exactly. Their recommendations carry immense weight because they've earned that trust organically, and often their rates are far more accessible, or you can even do product exchanges. The key is to find those who genuinely align with your product and approach them respectfully. Show them the value, not just the commission. It's a deeper collaboration, you know? You're not just buying a shout-out, you're partnering with a trusted voice. Now, Emma, you might be thinking, James, this sounds like a lot of individual effort. How do you scale this? And that's a perfectly valid question. The beauty of this approach is it builds long-term assets that actually do scale, just not in the way traditional paid ads do.
Yeah, that was definitely in the back of my mind. It sounds so hands-on. So how do you go from engaging in one or two communities to it being a significant part of your affiliate strategy?
Well, first, you're building a reputation, not just for a product, but for yourself or your brand. That reputation follows you. Second, you start to identify patterns. What kinds of posts resonate? What types of questions are common? This informs your content strategy elsewhere. Third, you can systematize the process of community identification and initial engagement, without automating the human touch. And by nurturing those micro-influencer relationships, they become long-term partners, not one-off transactions. It's about building a network of trust, which is far more resilient and, honestly, ethical than just chasing clicks.
So it's like you build a blueprint for connecting with these micro-tribes, and once you've proven it works, you can apply that successful blueprint to other similar ones, right? Instead of starting from scratch every time, you just adapt your proven method.
Exactly. You refine your approach, you learn the nuances, and you then expand. It's about sustainable growth, where every interaction adds value to your brand and to the community. You're essentially cultivating incredibly loyal, high-converting audiences because they've come to you through trust, not just through an ad they strolled past.